Welcome back, everybody, to the Bavarian Soundworks Video Installation Guide series. Here we are in the front of an E46 convertible. We're going to tackle a stage one in the car. The front door panels are exactly the same in the convertibles as they are on the coupes, so either of you guys can enjoy this particular video to show you how to install your speakers. The first thing we do, we roll our windows down, so of course make sure your windows are rolled down. From there, we can start the process. I like to start on the passenger front door, and I want you guys to start there as well, because the driver's front door you use every day, and if you were to make a mistake, which it's very difficult to do, you would rather make it on this door so that if you needed to go buy a little clip or something from the dealership, it wouldn't be such an issue. So with that being said, let's start the process. It's very, very straightforward. The first thing we're going to do before we actually start the process is identify the 5 attachment points on the door panel. They are located, there is one here behind the handle. You can see behind this little poppy out piece here. We'll take that out and access a screw. There's one here behind the airbag, which is actually just a cover. The airbag is attached to the door itself, not the panel. So when we take the panel off, no worries. So we have 1, 2, then we have 3, which is back up under here. We have 4 right there, and then 5 right here. So there are 5 points of attachment, and from there, we use our panel removal tool to get the door off. So I kind of start up top and work my way around just clockwise. So what we'll do is we're going to take our angle pick, which is in our pick set that came with your BMW toolkit, and what we do is we kind of take this pick and we work. You just push it in and then pop it out, just like that. So that comes out and that reveals a little Torx T20. So we'll take our Torx driver, which is again included in your bit set. We'll remove that, place it down here, and now we'll move back to the airbag plug. Now in these older cars, this is an 01. You want to be pretty careful with these because they can be dry rotted. This is just plastic. Everything else is nice and leather wrapped or whatever the case may be, but this can be brittle. So you want to be really careful when you're doing this. So we're going to take our panel removal tool, and again, you want to be careful when you're doing this to begin with. And just kind of carefully work your tool around. And again, so good. That one actually, nope, yep. So it just happens. It's just a function of being old. These are very easy to glue back on. I mean, it's just a function of old plastic. If you're really anal, you can go back, pick these up at the dealership for a couple bucks a piece. This is just a function of an older car. The newer ones aren't as bad, but I mean, this is a 10-year-old car, so it is what it is. So with our airbag plug removed, again, we're going to take our Torx T20, pop this guy out. Sometimes it's hard to get out of here. It'll just stay in there. We can get it out later. We'll move back here. Again, this is all very straightforward. Can't promise it's easy. These may or may not ball out. If not, again, it's not a big deal. We'll get them up on the workbench. Move to this one. So you can see 5 screws out. The panel is ready now to come off. We'll just leave that little guy up there. And now, using our panel removal tool, we start up here in this corner. Sometimes you can take your hand, pry this out a little bit, and we just take our panel removal tool, get it back behind this panel, and then I use my fingers. So once I get my tool to pry the panel out, I take my fingers and I just work my way around the outer perimeter. And with this part of the door free, we come back to the front and just drop a couple of screws. The panel comes off. You guys can come back here and show you how to disconnect the door handle. With your index finger, simply pry up on that. You can actually see how it works like that. So we just pry up, pry out. We'll unplug our speaker, our mid-range tweeter combo, our mid-woofer, And from here, we're going to pause and join you guys on the workbench to complete the speaker installation. So now that we've got our panel on our workspace, and again, make sure it's a clean area. We want to put down a towel or whatnot so you make sure nothing is scratched. We'll pop the speakers out and put the new speakers in. So I like to start with the mid-bass driver. This can be held in with a variety of different screws. This particular car has Phillips heads. They don't all have Phillips heads. Some of them have Torx bits, etc. Regardless, whatever bit you need will be in your bit set that comes with the BSW toolkit. Again, this is very simple. Factory speaker out, BSW speaker in. It just drops down on there. Just get everything lined up. And again, you don't want to, you want to kind of get everything loosely attached before you start torquing everything back down to spec. So nothing too tight. We still need to just have a little bit of play. And again, hand tight. Don't ever use a power tool in this application. Just hand tight. So snug, snug, and snug. Mid-bass upgrade complete. Now, we move up to the mid-range and tweeter. Again, it's as simple as unbolting the factory assembly and dropping in the new BSW assembly. These are always attached using Torx T20s. I've never seen them different, but again, who knows? So we get this little guy out of here. So you can see we're taking this guy out, putting this guy in. Quite the upgrade. Drop it down, very straightforward. And just like before, we'll kind of get them snug, and then we go back and torque them down. As you can see, this whole process, we're maybe 5 minutes into it. And we've actually gotten our door panel off and replaced the speakers in a matter of minutes. Snug. So it really is that straightforward. So at this point, I want you guys to cut. We're going to pause here. I want you to see a separate video that we've made going over the installation of our sound deadening product. And we will rejoin you in the back of the car to complete the stage one. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is attach our mid-bass driver to our mid-bass plug. And again, we've got the color code in our PDF instructions, but we're going to line our colors up. So we're going to positive to positive and negative to negative. And again, this is highlighted in the PDF version of these instructions so that you can keep the coloring and the polarity correct. So be sure and look at that. And this is just something I do. I take a little bit of, even though they're snug in there and they're not going to come out, I'm just overprotective about this kind of stuff. So I just take a piece of electrical tape and just to make sure, get it all pinned up like that. So with everything connected, we're going to start back here with the lock mechanism through the slot on the door panel. And then we make sure we are completely aligned, and we are. And from there, we just take our hands, snap, snap. Then I kind of lift up. You'll feel all the little clips go into place, and then just push. And then back here, you'll just use your fingers again to line everything up. Using the palm of your hand. Again, you can't, these cars are built like tanks, so don't use your fist or hard, but using the meat of your hand, bump it all back down. Then you run your fingers around the perimeter. We're perfect. We reattach all of our screws, which again, not a terribly exciting process, but you guys can see how we do it. Again, I start the same way we started. Work my way around. The two short screws go in the top, and the three long screws go across the bottom. So make sure you keep that straight. I'm pretty sure you won't have a problem with it.